This video will likely ignite strong opinions, as it confronts some hard truths about power and authority that not everyone is ready to accept. Niccolò Machiavelli, author, diplomat, philosopher. Few names in history have sparked as much debate about the nature of power and leadership. Born in 1469 during the turbulent times of Renaissance Florence, Machiavelli witnessed firsthand the cutthroat politics of city-states, where fortunes changed in the blink of an eye. What made Machiavelli's work endure through centuries wasn't just his cold pragmatism, it was his unflinching analysis of human nature. His most famous work, The Prince, written as a guide for rulers, has been dissected for centuries. But here's the reality. Without understanding the lessons Machiavelli offered, modern leaders risk falling into the same traps of arrogance, naivety, and failure that destroyed countless rulers before them. These insights are more crucial than ever. In this video, we're going to explore 5 timeless lessons from Machiavelli and how they apply to anyone navigating the complex worlds of influence, authority, and power. Let's dive in. During the time of Niccolò Machiavelli, a striking example of power being earned, not given, can be found in the rise of Cesare Borgia, often referred to as Il Valentino. Borgia's ascension to power illustrates Machiavelli's principle from The Prince, that bold and sometimes ruthless action is necessary to secure one's position. Cesare Borgia, the illegitimate son of Pope Alexander VI, leveraged his familial connections, but quickly demonstrated that he understood the need to actively build and maintain power. In 1499, Borgia launched military campaigns across Italy to consolidate fragmented territories under his rule. He employed both military prowess and strategic alliances, such as his dealings with France, to achieve his goals. One of his most Machiavellian maneuvers was his handling of the treacherous condottieri, mercenary leaders, he had hired to aid in his conquests. Sensing their potential to undermine his rule, Borgia lured them into a false sense of security by inviting them to a meeting under the guise of discussing terms. Once gathered, he executed them swiftly, eliminating a significant threat to his authority. This act, while ruthless, cemented his reputation as a formidable leader. Machiavelli admired Cesare Borgia's ability to act decisively and pragmatically, as he detailed in The Prince. This historical example serves as a reminder of the necessity of proactive leadership. The key to keeping that power, however, lies in your ability to stay flexible and adaptable. Florence was constantly at the mercy of shifting alliances, foreign invasions, and internal upheaval. For Machiavelli, adaptability was the cornerstone of survival and success. He famously illustrated this with the example of Ferdinand of Aragon, who transformed Spain from a fragmented kingdom into a dominant European power by adjusting his strategies to meet ever-changing circumstances. Ferdinand's rise was marked by his ability to pivot and seize opportunities. He consolidated power at home through the Reconquista, expelling the Moors from Granada, and then turned his focus outward. When it suited his goals, Ferdinand aligned with France. When that alliance became a liability, he shifted tactics and supported England. He used diplomacy, marriage alliances, and military force interchangeably, depending on the situation, to strengthen Spain's position on the European stage. Machiavelli admired Ferdinand's ability to adapt his approach based on the needs of the moment, calling him a model of effective rule. But here's the catch. Adaptability alone isn't enough. People don't just respond to results, they respond to perception, because sometimes, how you look in the middle of chaos is just as important as what you're actually doing. Machiavelli famously argued that how you appear to others often matters more than the reality of who you are. In The Prince, he stressed that rulers must craft an image that commands respect and inspires loyalty, even if it involves a degree of deception. This principle wasn't just theory, it was a reflection of the turbulent politics of his time, where perception often determined survival. A compelling example from Machiavelli's era is the Medici family's return to power in Florence in 1512. After being exiled for nearly 2 decades, the Medici cultivated an image of stability, wealth, and divine favor to re-establish their rule. Lorenzo de' Medici, known as Il Magnifico, had laid the groundwork years earlier by building an aura of cultural sophistication and patronage of the arts. His successors leveraged this reputation to assert their authority. Upon their return, they sponsored public celebrations, architectural projects, and alliances with the church to project an image of unshakable power and legitimacy, even as they faced internal dissent and fragile alliances. Machiavelli, having witnessed this firsthand, used the Medici's mastery of appearances as an implicit lesson. The family's carefully curated image concealed their vulnerabilities, convincing Florentines and rival powers alike that their rule was inevitable. But even the strongest image can't stand alone. Behind every successful leader is a network of trusted advisors offering insight, challenging assumptions, and sharpening strategy. Machiavelli warned that isolation was one of the gravest dangers for any ruler. He understood that no leader, no matter how brilliant, could see every angle, predict every outcome, or anticipate every threat on their own. In The Prince, Machiavelli emphasizes this lesson through the example of King Louis XII of France. When King Louis invaded Italy, he initially relied on the counsel of local allies, particularly the ambitious Cesare Borgia. However, King Louis later made the fatal mistake of alienating these allies and failing to secure new ones. His inability to maintain strong relationships with capable advisors and local power players ultimately led to his downfall. Even a strong leader can be undone if they mismanage their inner circle. Surround yourself with people who don't just offer guidance, but also prepare you for conflict. Because when the inevitable storms hit, it's not just your strategy that will determine your success. It's your ability to rely on those around you to weather the turbulence, make clear decisions, and emerge stronger on the other side. Whether it was war between city-states, rival factions within a kingdom, or betrayal by trusted allies, every ruler in The Prince faces opposition at some point. One powerful example is Lodovico Sforza, Duke of Milan. Sforza rose to power through cunning and alliances, but his inability to foresee and prepare for the betrayal of his supposed allies ultimately led to his downfall. Despite his initial skill in navigating political rivalries, he placed too much trust in foreign powers, particularly the French, without preparing for the consequences of their growing influence. When those allies turned against him, Sforza found himself isolated, powerless, and eventually imprisoned. Avoiding conflict or underestimating potential threats, as Sforza did, often leads to larger problems down the line. Conflict is a natural part of leadership. Strong leaders don't shy away from it. They confront it strategically. This means anticipating points of tension, understanding the motivations of competitors or dissenters, and being ready to act decisively when the situation demands it. Power is earned through decisive action, not passive titles. Adaptability is essential for survival. And above all, true leadership often requires facing conflict head-on rather than avoiding it. If you found value in these insights, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay tuned. We have more wisdom from history's greatest minds coming your way.